Welcome back to the Georgie Fix Show. I'm your host, Georgie Fix, and today we're going to talk about the best Netflix movies they have to offer right now, and that's Don't Look Up. And the reason why is because there's a hidden message in there that nobody has ever talked about, and I want to bring that to light.
Oops, Patrick, it opened by itself.
But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when my videos are posted, and hit that like button. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, the hidden message I think this movie represents is AI takeover. Simple terms, the AI becomes the dominant life form on Earth, better than human beings. And so I'm gonna give you a few points that's gonna convince you into this. But before we get there, I'm gonna give you a summary of the film just in case you remember. So you have Jennifer Lawrence. She plays the character Kate DiBiase. And so she discovers this comet that will hit, without a doubt, science is 100% fact and true. It will hit Earth in 6 months and 14 days from the moment she discovers it. And so the thing about it is that this film is supposed to be a dramatization of what happened in the last 4 years of the last US president we had.
What would this town do without you, SpongeBob?
Oh, my leg! My leg!
And so no matter where you are in the political spectrum, this movie has some truth to it. Yes, it's funny because no matter what people said or presented as the science, people didn't believe them. People were going crazy left and right. It was scary times, and that's basically the basis of this movie. It's scary times and you never know what to believe. But the thing about it is that at the end of the day, there's always something in the background lingering, and it's the fact that there's this company that runs the world called Bosch, and they have an AI that is very powerful, and I think that AI is running the world, not Peter, not the president, but the AI. And so I'll explain that to you. But before we get into those details, like I said, let's establish what AI is. So AI is basically machine learning. It's the same thing, you probably heard that before, and the whole point is that you have software that is supposed to, with data points collected from real world, basically us, right? Data's us. They are able to take that data and make a personalized whatever you want. So if you want personalized social media, there it goes. If you want a personalized shopping experience, there you go. If you want a personalized Google search, there you go. And so that's what AI is all about. But in this movie, the AI does more than just that, and it's a little scary. And it's nothing even close to what Netflix, Google, Amazon, YouTube does. So I'm gonna give you 4 points that will convince you of that. 3 right now, and then 1 at the very end, because in between those, I'm gonna give you a little story that's gonna influence, not really influence you, but give you perspective of why I think all this. So let's start with the first point, and it's the fact that the AI can categorize you.
I know who you are. My algorithms have determined 8 fundamental consumer profile types.
Yes, this AI collects 40 million points.
Do you know that Bash has over 40 million data points on you and every decision you have made since 1994, Doctor?
I think about three groups that are very important to this film, and it's the fact that it's greed, patriotic, and political. Those are 3 points that run the show in this movie, or the people that fall into those groups. So for instance, greed, Peter Ishwell, the president. Patriotic, you know what, let me get to that one last. Political, the president takes this information and makes it a political issue, right? Now the end of the world is a political issue, and if you're patriotic, you're gonna take that, run with it, and you're gonna say, I approve of what you want, president, and I believe what you're gonna do is gonna save us. Let me go to category 2, and it's the fact that this AI can influence you in any moment it wants. So let me explain to you. We're introduced to this company at the very beginning, maybe about 15 minutes in, the Bosch company, and we're at a conference where we're introduced into their newest product, the Light Phone. And What makes it different from any other phone is that it can read your vitals at any given moment, take those vitals, run it through the algorithm, and then it can spit back some information.
Our new Bash 14.3 phone is fully integrated into your every feeling and desire.
And let's go to 26 minutes and 30 seconds of the movie. If you see in the background, behind Peter Ishwell, you see some feelings. And I believe these are Peter Ishwell's feeling at that given moment. And you see three that I can distinguish right now, which is melancholy, lonely, and nostalgic. And so if you're feeling sadness, the phone can take those feelings and give you content that's gonna make you feel better. And we're given a video, a specific video, that if you look at it once, you just think there's nothing to it. And it's a chicken and puppy video.
You are my best friend. You are my...
Nothing crazy about it. It seems like something that you'll see on Instagram, on Reels, right? But the thing about it is that this comes back later in the movie. So let's fast forward to 1 hour and 47 minutes. So we're at this point of the movie where it's the last Don't Look Up rally right before the end of everything. And it's televised. It's broadcasted on TV. And for a split 10 seconds, we're given this scene where there's an individual. He's watching the rally from his home, but he's holding something in his hand. And what's that? The phone. But look what the phone has. It has the chicken and puppy video playing. And to me, that means two things. First thing, it represents how the AI is always running in the background, working, running everything. And second, it represents that the guy is scared in that given moment. He doesn't know what's going on, misinformation everywhere. He's scared, and he probably thinks the world's gonna end, and the AI is doing whatever it can to calm him down. That's a very small detail that's not really pronounced in this movie. So let's go to point number 3. And the point number 3 is that the phone's purpose, and we're told this at the conference.
Introducing Bash Life. Life without the stress of living.
The easiest way to make life stress-free is if there was no humans, no life. What about if I'm not living, I have no stress? That, A equals B. Does that kind of make sense? And that's what makes me go crazy. I think that AI actually succeeded with its goal of life with no stress. Life with no stress. And so let me connect all of this together, right? So you already got these 3 points. Let me remind you what the first 3 points are. Categories. This AI can categorize you in any group that it thinks you play into. 2, it can influence you. Knowing how you're categorized, it knows your vitals, and it can influence you with videos, content, whatever. And 3rd, the mission it has is to make your life easier. So let me put this idea in your head. Let's say if Kate discovered the comet. By the way, the AI is really smart. It's connected to everything, right? And let's say the AI is connected to the telescope that Kate is using to discover this comet. And immediately when Kate discovers this comet, the AI knows too. And at this point, since the AI knows, it starts building a plan in nanoseconds. And the plan is, remember the goal, make life with no stress. And I have a plan now. So the AI knows that we as humans, are we gonna combat this comet one way or another? We're gonna try to make it. But the comet has to find a way how to reverse all this, right? So, okay, we go, we make a plan, we shoot the shuttles into space, trying to explore the comet. But what if the AI tried to stop this? If you look back, everything was going great until Peter Ishwell decided, this comet has trillions of dollars of rare metals. So what if the AI decided to categorize Peter and know that since he's a businessman, he's greedy?
You call me a businessman? You think I'm just a businessman? You think you know me?
And so since he's a businessman, he sees dollar as his primary goal in life. And so what if the AI influenced Peter into, that's all you have to do is introduce 3 videos back to back to back where you connect comet, mining, China, and rare metals. Because
Of course, because China has her big panda paw firmly on almost all the mines that produce these valuable rare earth.
And somehow you have to connect all those and plant the idea into Peter's head that what if we look at the comet and there's rare metals? Is there a way for me to make a profit of this? And then, okay, simple. Let's say if that happened, and then let's say Peter decides, hey, astrogeologist, find out how much rare metals is on the comet. AI decides, let me falsify the information and give you this false data that say there's
Comet hurtling towards us from deep space contains almost $140 trillion worth of assets.
bing, 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 bing. Like, you're having alarms going off in Peter's head saying we need to excavate this and make a profit of it. You know, easy. Peter owns the president, and he, from there on, the rest is history. And that's exactly how the movie is. So that kind of sums what the story is about. But let me give you that last point I said that I was gonna give you at the very end, and it's the fact that puts everything together. So one thing that the AI does is that it without your permission, it can buy products even if you didn't want the item. So let's look at this clip right now.
My little bumblebee, will you marry me?
Oh my god, of course!
Yes!
So did Vroom Vroom. Bash News just sent me 8 push notifications.
About this?
Yeah. My phone just purchased DJ Cello's latest single. Nice hype. Okay, just bought another.
Who are these people again?
And that just made me think, since the AI was planning this all along, it knew that money drives the world, and without money you can't do anything. So what if the AI decided from the very beginning, I'm just gonna purchase things without people's permission just to build up the wealth of Bosch company? Because if you have money, you do whatever you want. And that's why I think the AI runs everything in this movie. I think so. What do you think? Let me hear your theory in the comments below. And just, that's it for today. Honestly, there's nothing else. There's a lot to say. So hope you understand. If you have any other questions or comments, hit them below. And thank you very much. Till next time.